wanted to make sure I spelled it right so that everybody on YouTube saw it properly and they weren't like trying to be a grammar Nazi, you know. I'm trying to preempt the grammar Nazi.
Well,
Interesting enough, you even say that.
you can be the Toastmasters grammarian. How about that?
Toastmasters Bavarian?
Grammarian.
Grammarian? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thought you were saying something like German. I'm like, I don't understand that. All right. Hello, everyone. It is Robert Blakely. I am your host, better known as the Lakester. If you're watching us live on YouTube, you can join us live inside the room here just by going to live.thelosttransition.com. This is our Monday Mastermind. We celebrate. We come together every Monday at 12 Eastern Standard Time. And what we do is first off, we celebrate the wins of those of you that are continually joining us. We've been doing this for now a little over 4 years, so thank you all for the love and support and showing up. We just started streaming to YouTube a little over a year ago, so now, if we're paying attention, hello, hello, it's February. 1 month is already gone out of the 12. So we join each other every Monday, kind of get our heads ready for the next week, celebrate the wins. We have a little bit of a instructional, if you want to call that. We drop little golden nuggets, I guess. And today is going to be no different. This is week 5. It's called Your Circle is Your Future. So we're going to talk about a few things today that are very important, especially if you're out there in YouTube land and you don't know anything about, well, in general, about like running a business or potentially doing something online with social media and, MLMs or network marketing companies or selling door to door. We talk a lot about it, that. We talk a lot about that kind of stuff here. So, before we get started, we always go into the panel. We'd like to hear from those of you that have some wins that you'd like to share. Then I've got some slides I'll share with you guys, open it up for discussion, and we will get our day started. We're running a few minutes late, so anybody want to start us off? And I know, unfortunately, Virgil will not make it today. So, hi, Tony. Dale, if you've got some wins you want to share, by all means, you can.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff.
Sweet.
I was mostly just um, on the creative end. One, I brought somebody and I got a sign up for one of the programs that I was promoting,
Yay.
a free member.
That's all right.
And
That's a
I
start.
I reached out. I sent him a welcome email, and I tried to contact him by phone, and it just went to voicemail, which told me that their phone was shut off. So I texted them. Um, I looked it up on the internet to see where the phone number was from. And we get in the sign up form, they list the best time to call them, which is very, very helpful. So you kind of have an idea that you're calling them at a time where they're
Sure.
probably going to be available.
Sure.
And but I didn't get anything back, so I don't know if anything will come of it. But at least it's a lead to try to work with anyway. And so that was a win. I was excited about that. And then I also working with Chat GPT, I put together a onboarding course for my 50 and older group.
Sweet.
And so I did that through Canva. It actually put everything together and tried to put it directly into Canva. But for some reason, my Chat GPT and my Canva, even though I had it hooked up, didn't
Didn't sync for some
didn't
reason.
sync for some reason. So I had to go in there and create it. It gave me the steps.
Gotcha.
And I just went in there, followed step by step.
Different
just,
emails, maybe, or what?
No, it said because if you have, I had it open, chat or Canva open,
Sure.
and it said if you have it open while you're doing this, sometimes it doesn't link, it doesn't
right.
you
So you
know,
learned a
convert
cool
it.
new little trick there too, huh?
Yeah, so I thought, well, okay, let me leave it alone and come back tomorrow and see if it, close it down, but it didn't. So I had to go in and recreate it. But I did want to because the last time I had the group, so I just put that in chat. If Rita or Jorge, they want to go in. This was all done with ChatGPT. It created everything, the graphics and everything. If you want to go in and check it out and see what you can do. I know Rita knows what you can do with AI, but if Jorge's interested in investigating AI, these are the kind of things you can do with it. And it's kind of cool. So those are my wins. And I'm also, I put together a little marketing package for the other program that I did. And I'm just about to create a lead magnet for that program as well. And ChatGPT does it all, man. It just, you kind of tell it what direction you want to go. And the nice thing is I have all my colors and everything already in there. So it remembers everything and it creates everything kind of in, your brand colors, and remembers like your brand tones, and, your kind of the way you, your messaging. And so everything is created based on that, which is very cool. So everything remains seamless. It's really, I'm learning a lot. So those are my wins.
Good. That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Good stuff. It's always nice when you learn new things. And you sound to me like a kid with a new toy. I love it. Hello, welcome, Vicky. Tori, Tony or Jorge, did you have any wins that you wanted to share? Or Vicky, did you have some wins you want to share? Hello, welcome. Came in right at the right time if you want to and have some.
Well, I can share
Oh,
some.
there's Jorge. Go ahead, Jorge.
You
have the floor.
I consider a win that I had a good meeting with Virgil.
Oh, good. Okay.
And he gave me a good amount of points, so that to me was a win.
Yeah.
And you might find this a win because you are into video games, and Flight Simulator or Explain. Those are two softwares that allow you to practice flying. I find Explain I don't know, a little harder, but it's just because I started playing with it recently. But in Flight Simulator, I made I made a flight where I went from Victoria, right in Texas, from Victoria to three other airports that they are kind of close. So that's why I set it up that way. But my intention with that flight was to be able to control the avionics, because that's one thing that has been giving me a little bit of a problem in the physical flight. But so that flight went pretty good, although the problem in Flight Simulator is that you have to move the knob with your mouse. In the airplane, you move the knob with your finger, so it's way easier. So in Flight Simulator, that's way more difficult. So I took advantage of changing the setup in the avionics while I land. I mean, I landed, then I made the change because it takes time, and you cannot be up there playing with that thing because you have to. Your main thing is to be flying.
Right.
So, but it turned out pretty good. So I like that flight ended up pretty good. So
Right on. And you didn't stop by, huh?
no, and
The Corpus Christi airport was not nearby or what?
well, I'll try next time.
All right. All right. You just let me know when you're in the area there. No, that's cool. I do love video games. So to me it's a lifelong passion, goal, fun, whatever. It's a lot of fun. Plus it helps
Well,
with your eye-hand coordination. So
yeah,
thank you for
I'm
sharing
going
on it.
to I'm
What's
going
that?
to share something with you that is kind of personal.
Okay.
I really don't like video games. I find them too addictive. Now, the reason I do with Flight Simulator is because it
Yeah.
relates to something that is, I mean, is part of a profession or something. So that's why I like that. That's why I spend some time on it. But even that, I try to limit my time into it. I'm I'm doing a lot now because I'm in the training part of it, but I normally try to limit it. But I have a son that I think is, I don't know, I'm gonna have to get him into an institution to get him away from video games, because it's all he does after he finishes working.
Well, I would have to say this, just like anything else, who we are live in public, so everything in moderation. I
Yep.
don't sit there and play all day long. I do believe that kids should have limitations. Parents obviously should be parenting their children,
Well, he's too old
right?
to be he's too old for me to tell him anything.
Yeah, I have
Although I told him, but I mean, he can make his decisions. I told him, but I can do nothing else.
well, see, there's the thing in lies. Let's talk about that for a second because you just triggered something. That's a good something. Maybe we can drop a few golden nuggets here. You said something very specific, and what you said is why he didn't listen. Do you know why? It was mostly because you said, I told him, right? People don't listen when they're told specifically, especially if we're told as a child might be told, right? The psychology behind it, and to be able to get somebody to do something that's maybe more constructive than what they're doing is the way that we tell them or the way that that message is delivered. Make sense?
Oh, yes,
Especially when
but
you're dealing with a child. I know my sister, she has a young one and he loves playing. He gets really excited and way too into it.
yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
we still have to parent, right?
I understand what you're saying, but if something that I believe it happens is
Yeah.
uh, if a child doesn't does not listen to somebody, will be his dad. They listen to to other people, but no their
Right.
but not their father.
Right.
But anyway, he's in his 30s, so there's nothing to do in there.
Gotcha. Well, unfortunately, things like that happen. But again, I'm going to divert back to my original statement. Parents must parent, right? But thank you for
Well,
sharing, Jorge. Thank you for sharing. Take a deep breath. Count to three before you smack them because they're not listening. Anyone else have any wins they want to share? Tony, Rita, Vicky?
Of course.
All right. Dance. Oh my God, you've been super busy too, girl.
I have been, but let me see if I can do this first. I had it up here and I lost it, but maybe I can find it again. Hold on. Because this is not something that I normally do, but this is an intimate group, so I'm saying happy birthday to me on Groundhog's Day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rita. Happy birthday to you. I wonder why I didn't get the notification on Facebook. You must be hiding your birthday.
I do. I have two Facebook pages, and one was when I first did it. I had no idea what I was doing years ago, so I just did it. And then my former students knew me by "Thank you for the cake. I'll eat them all." Um, the My students knew me as different names, and so they didn't know me under my new name, the ones that I've had years ago that are now maybe 50 years old.
Sure.
So they contact me on the other one, which I forget to go to. And then the one that's on here, I didn't because of identity theft challenges. But as we all know, identity theft has, thanks for the geeks, identity theft has many ways to find out your information. I've had people that have called me, I've had reports that I've had to get taken out of their database. There's lots of data warehouses out there that have our information because of different breaches. The dark side of me thinks that it's all planned and it's a way to make money. So I'll end that with that and go on to my wins. So one of them being another year around the planet, so to speak, if that's what we do. Are we really in a round circle? I don't know. But anyway,
Or if you're like me in a video game, you just got another level up.
and I went, Dale, I went to look at your Facebook page. It's beautiful. It is, I love the colors. It's very serene and
Oh, damn.
very calm. Nice job. So congrats on that. And also, Jorge, congratulations on your newest adventures. I think it's awesome. And something that might help with your child, your adult child, is Coach said, don't tell, but maybe you should mirror his behavior. Find something that might bother him about something that you do, and maybe that'll spark something in him. So you're going to have to, your child better than anyone else, so I can't tell you what, but that's something that I do.
I love that.
And I still do with my nieces and nephews, and I make them solve problems. I don't tell them, what did you do? All right, what did you do? Is it the same story? Especially when they start fighting. Like, I don't know, I wasn't here, I didn't see what happened, I can't make any kind of judgments. You're going to have to tell me the truth. So, anyway, for me, staying consistent online with anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. I try to keep it at 3 o'clock with school's out. And I do my little bell ringing and all that kind of stuff. But it's not long enough to tell. I have to speak really fast to get people to get to my Facebook page, which is my plan. But I have to either speed it up or make the little clips that you put them together. I forget what that's called, but whatever that is, I can do that to get them to
Short.
hit stories. Yeah, it's in stories. And but I started that at the end of last year, so I'm going on 2 months, 5 days a week, and then the other days I just put something just to say, hey, still here, and that keeps me with the time frame, like 3 o'clock every day. That's my commitment. And then I have the Builder Bree. I have Saver Sam. They were in an interview which I posted last week. They kind of interviewed each other, or well, Bree was interviewed, and they were having a conversation. So, and that I was ecstatic to get that done. Also, to get the next one who will be there today by 3 will be Investor Izzy. He's the next one. And so the sequence is like introducing someone who has a business. Then you have a person who believes in saving his money, and then you have the investor who will talk about investing money. And then the other, that's kind of, you have the angel and the other creature on the other side talking about, yeah, go buy that. So she'll be the last one, but she'll be next week, and she's Spender Sky. And so these are the characters that will roll out to help munchkins think about what it is that they should be doing or thinking about the money side of it. So there's a psychology side behind it. Thanks, Coach, for that. And then there's what's the real side, what's going to happen. So it's going to be interesting. I'm having fun with it and developing material for them as well. I have some, but I know they have a Monopoly game for your cell phone now. But I used to do it online, so maybe they still have that version. But that's the first thing we're going to start with. So really excited about the progression and understanding the importance of, you get it on one side, just be consistent. Doing it is another thing. So I don't care if you make a half step. If you just turn the computer on, got to your web page, just you need it for yourself to experience success. And lastly, the community that we have here, you guys are amazing. I really, really appreciate everything that you contribute, everything that you do, because that sparks me up here. I'm like, okay, all right, you gotta get it done. Let's go. That definitely excites me about the community is more important than anything else. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rita, for being such a huge part of the community. And we're only getting started. Vicky, go ahead.
I do have several wins this week.
Yay.
One of the first ones is that I have another member in one of the businesses I'm doing, which is like getting me almost to platinum now, thank
All
God.
right.
And
There you
so
go.
that's a plus. And also I've been working diligently on my sites and everything, and I think that they're progressing quite well. I'm working on the blog right now to reattach it. And so I just think I'm doing good. I'm just keep forging ahead. So,
Well,
but this
anytime you get a
cold
new
weather, boy, I
post,
don't like it.
yeah.
They can keep it. I don't want it. Y'all can keep it. Yeah, we just got to 48 just now. This morning when I woke up, it was 26 with the feels like of 11. We have ice everywhere and it's not melting. And so it's pretty interesting to see. But yeah, they can keep it. I'll stick with the beach and the sunshine and the warm.
Well, because all of my friends over there in Florida sent us some sunshine, I'm gonna do the same, and I'm gonna send some sunshine back to you guys because it's 65 here.
Ugh,
I
yeah.
have 70, but there is a low of 39 expected. However, it was bright and beautiful out there. The sun was trying to poke out. And then I saw those ugly things in the sky that we won't talk about.
Yeah. What I found amazing, I mean, because you got to know that I'm not a person that's been involved with snow or anything my whole life. I'm a Floridian. Okay.
Right, sure.
But what was
Well, Texas.
amazing to me is we've had sunshine. We've had very blustery winds, but what amazed me is that after the dips in temperatures the last 3 nights
Mhm.
and all the ice everywhere, it has not melted. It's stuck, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see, but I don't want to keep it.
Right, right. Another thing I saw mentioned, I don't know how true it is. I guess some kind of low came out of Texas, which should be helping divert some of that stuff. So, yay, Texas. We
Yes,
brought the
amen.
low so that y'all can get the highs.
Hmm. I think we still got to get through like around the 8th or 9th, and then hopefully it'll be gone for good for a
All right.
while till next year.
I feel you, my friend. Trust me, I've lived there in Florida, as you know, and I've lived in Colorado and all that snow and up in Canada and a whole bunch of snow. Not my friend. Not
Mm-mm.
my friend.
And it
Thank you.
plays havoc on the vehicles and the pipes and everything
Hmm.
else. So I'll
Exactly.
just be glad when it's gone.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you for sharing and congratulations on your new sign up.
Thank
Congrats.
you.
Just shows that same thing like what Rita was saying, be consistent, all that. Keep going forward and keep doing the things that you learn and eventually it pays off. Thank you for being here. All right, I got a couple of wins and then we need to get to these slides here. We're getting behind schedule. Quick little couple of wins. Date has been set. I think Vicky is seeing it. Also, Vicky, I saw your message, but as many of you know, I am restricted on Facebook Messenger, so I cannot respond to you, but I did respond on one of my posts about that. But I've set a date, finally, Friday, 9 Eastern Standard Time. That's when I'm gonna go public, so to speak, to our closest friends, kind of show them what we've been working on. I was thinking about it over the weekend. I was like, man, we are at least 9 months into the build of the Lost Transition since I first started. It's about time to have a baby. So we're going to be birthing that baby. And as I mentioned to Dale and Rita, if you want to, if you're not busy, after this meeting, let's say 10 minutes after this Monday Mastermind, I wouldn't mind if you have some time. We could poke around in there just so I can make sure I have a couple of connection tests kind of thing. If you have time, if not, it's not going to be a big deal, but sometime before Friday, for sure, let's make that connection. So I set finally a date, and this is mentioning this just to kind of put this down too for people that might be watching. You're never going to do anything unless you set that date, right? So you might have to push things back, but at least set some kind of date for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And then over the weekend, which I'm surprised but not surprised that Rita didn't mention, we did the Time to Rise Summit with Tony Robbins. That was pretty cool. For me, I don't know. I'm just saying it because this is who I am. I've never been to any Tony Robbins events. And I wasn't really into the whole jumping around doing energy, but I know about that stuff. But what was really cool about a lot of that was seeing the transformations and stuff, and then being able to put together a lot of the stuff that I've learned from a couple of great mentors that I've had in my life. But it was a great summit. It was free. It was on YouTube. You can always go back and take a look at it. I highly recommend that you do. Besides that, no Facebook Messenger until the third, and that's my wins. Oh, my big win, because y'all know I like to pull positives out of any negative situation. So with that whole Facebook Messenger thing, I actually got a lot more accomplished online because I just shut Facebook off and out. I'm like, all right, let's go look. We'd check in every so often. But we got a lot accomplished, so I'm excited for Friday night, especially 9 Eastern Standard Time. You can join us live right here. Again, same bat channel, live.thelosttranslation.com. Okay, go ahead, Rita. You have something you want to add before I show slides?
Yeah, real quick. Tony Robbins is, I've been to his event. I did the Walk on Fire, and he does condition your mind before you do any of that.
Did you walk on fire?
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I could understand what he was talking about, where he was going, which reminded me about stuff I can do with the kids as well. However, the most important thing that I received from that is energy. And when, I talk like this most of the time, I don't get really excited about much. But I will say, I need to get some more energy because you know what? It's contagious. So I have to be somebody I'm not generally. So that part, I could see the difference and what I know about our energy levels. That energy, we are energy. So I might have to be somebody I'm not. Maybe it's just something that's hiding, but it's the energy part that I took away from that I just thought kind of like coaches, like maybe a little hokey pokey. I'm not doing that. But when you do get excited. You do. So that was my takeaway.
Well, I always say that because I understand, I know those things, right? Simple physics. I said this the other time, and I always try to tend not to screw up the sayings, but object in motion will stay in motion, right? So I already know and understand the metaphysical side of things. But you did make me think of something that was pretty cool that I hadn't really thought of or put it into perspective until I had heard it from Tony. And I'll say that real quick before we dive into the slides, is the different characters that he spoke about. That was pretty cool. So what I have to do is I have to tap into my magician to get my warrior to go to work. How about them apples?
That's an interesting twist.
Yeah, how about
Use one to bring out the other one. Okay.
that? Well, it's going to require both. A little
Yes.
bit of magician, a little bit of warrior, right?
Right. I think that they're all important, but it's if you're using one, it's almost like using Chat GPT to get Claude to get to whoever the other AIs are, right? So
I
you
do
use.
that.
I know. Keisha does it too. She's the first one I heard when she was having the arguments with the war between the two of them.
Right? That's funny. I need to reach out to her. I know you said you have, but I haven't seen her in a while. So it's the new year. It's already February. Here we are, week 5. Week 5. I don't know if you guys remember last year, about the same time, I was doing the same thing. I was counting up the weeks.
Yeah.
And in essence, there is a method to my madness, if you will. And for this year, I already planned out 52 weeks of this. There's different settings, if you will, different chunks, if you will. The first like 6 weeks would cover this, next 6 weeks this, next 6 weeks this, so that it's like a curriculum. It's fun. We all learn different cycles. You could go back, watch it, all that other fun stuff. Today is your circle is your future. And I know some of you might have heard this before. If you haven't, hey, make sure you tune in. Definitely going to drop some nuggets and maybe even a gold bar when it comes to this. And I know this to be true. This is scientifically proven. This isn't Robert, you just made some stuff up and pulled some slides together. No, 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 no. Contraire, my frere. This is very important. And it's tried, tested, and true through many decades, I want to say. But your circle is your future, is what we're going to talk about. And I'm not going to bore you. We're going to make this fun, like always. But we're going to talk about why the 5 people closest to you determine your success. and then tap into a little bit more of that, right? So this is part of the Lost Transition Monday Mastermind with Voila and you all. Let's talk about the uncomfortable truth first. So they say that they're the average of the five people that you spend your most time with. This has been said from somebody that maybe you've heard of or not, Jim Rohn. Speaking of the great Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn was actually one of his mentors, right? Jim Rohn taught him quite a bit to get him to where he is now, wildly successful in everything that he does. Huge, huge brand, which was another thing that I took from this weekend, which I knew, but it was like, oh yeah, it was great to hear him talk about the brand and how he's amassed this brand. And some brands and things that Tony is involved in, you don't even know about. You don't even know, you wouldn't even know unless you went and did some digging, right? But so we're not going to talk about motivational fluff. We're going to make sure that you understand that it's math. Your income, your mindset, your habits, your beliefs, they're all being shaped right now by the people in your daily life. And which is a beautiful thing because you show up here every Monday, so give yourself a round of applause. Come on, yay! Right? There's something to be said about that consistency, especially when it comes to mindset, right? So if you guys have mindset issues or had mindset issues in the past, you're definitely in the right place, right? We talk about it all the time, mostly because it's psychological, and that's something that I absolutely love, right? That's my niche, so to speak, right? But then you have to ask yourself, are those people that are around you, are the people, five people that are around you now, are they holding you back or like, are they lifting you up? I know it says pulling you up. Literally, it should say lifting you up, though, right? Because that's another thing about having a good community to go to or being around a community of good people because they will actually lift you up instead of hold you back or tear you down, right? So as I'm saying this, I want you to think about it. I want you to have your pen and paper out. I want you to have it ready because if we need to do some things or write down some names, right? Make sure I'm very clear about what I'm saying here because we are live on YouTube. Write down some names if you need to X them out. I'm just talking about X them out of your life or your existence. Nothing personal, nothing crazy, all right? The reason I say that is because, yes, even though you might have people that might be close to you that, I say this as a broad spectrum, that are in your circle or all up in your business or whatever, in most cases, you can get rid of people, especially if it's in just an online environment, because it doesn't take much to just hit delete and block, right? Which is a beautiful thing. But it's important that we pay attention to the five people that you do spend the most time with. The five people that are maybe in your inbox, or the five people that are maybe calling you or maybe messaging you. Right? There's a reason that we're doing this. Okay. So think about it. Let's talk about how your circle shapes you as you're thinking about it. Right? The people that you're around are going to benefit you as far as like what your beliefs are, your conversations, even your energy, right? Rita talked about that at the very beginning. If you're around people that are low energy, I don't know about you, but I just can't be around people that are low energy, even though most people are lower energy than they probably could be or should be, i.e., what Rita was saying earlier. And to kind of throw in what I mentioned, if you know about what we're talking about, you've been to Tony Robbins and stuff, you can activate that warrior at any time. Activate that warrior at any time. Hurrah! Bring the energy. Just like that. One of those ways Vicky knows is getting out of your head and into your heart. when you understand some of these things that we've been talking about over the past 4 years, or however long you've been tuning in, you'll find that your beliefs get better. Your mind shifts a little bit. You stop thinking, oh, all these other people are right and I'm gonna fail. Right? Your energy does shift. And guess what? Vicky can tell you your income changes, right? But we all know because it's sales, so I want to be clear there. I've been doing this for over 40 years. You're going to have good months and you're going to have bad months. You're going to have some sales and you're going to have some times that you don't have sales. Now, that changes a little bit the more consistent you are and the more that you have a system in place. That put aside, your circle still shapes you, right? Even the people that you're bringing into your circle because you're bringing in new people into your business. Just want to mention that. But there's three types in your circle. I want you guys to think about this, okay? Write it down if you need to or take a snapshot. There's lifters. We talked a little bit about this or mentioned it anyway. These are the people that are going to challenge you to grow. I'm a lifter. I like to challenge you to grow. They celebrate your wins. Again, I'm a lifter. I celebrate your wins. We, shall I say, not I. They hold you accountable. Well, in some cases, yes, I do. And will hold you accountable. Lifters speak possibility, right? You've got this. What's the next step? Then you have your neutrals. They're pleasant but passive. They don't push or pull, right? They're just kind of, I like to call these guys the wallflowers. Those are the ones that at the dance, they don't dance. Right? They just sit along the side of the wall, right? The wallflowers. They keep things comfortable. We all know comfort zone is where things go to die. That'd be dramatic, right? So we know not to go to the comfort zone. Don't go there. That's where we die. Neutrals, they maintain the status quo. They're like, okay, that's cool, I guess. And then we got the drainers. Oh, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you've known any drainers. Come on, raise your hand. Y'all know you've known and met some drainers, right? You just want to suck the energy and the life out of you. They dismiss your dreams. Yeah. Oh my God. When I think of this and say it, it's like automatically my stepfather comes into mind. That'll never happen. Go get a real job. Again, yeah, you're going to have good and bad months. But they dismiss your dreams. They completely complain constantly. They project their fears onto you. I believe we talked about this just a week or so ago, right? They keep you realistic, but that realistic is really just their mindset of realistic. That'll never work. Come on, be realistic, right? So, for some reason, we keep coming onto some kind of cost of the wrong circle and cost of like not taking action. I don't know if you see a pattern here yet, because this is really huge for awareness. You got to start seeing these patterns that we're talking about here, right? Even the fact that there's three different ones, almost like a coconut, apple, and an orange, maybe. You could even categorize them that way so that you could easily see the patterns, right? So what drainers actually cost me? Well, they're costing you your dreams, right? Your energy, and even your ears. Like literally suck years of life out of you. We don't want that, right? We don't want you to sit there and stay stuck because everyone thinks this way. No, if you're in that circle, that means that you're in the wrong circle, my friends, right? If you're somewhere where there's low energy, you're in the wrong circle. If you're around people that have zero dreams, you're in the wrong circle, my friend. right? The hard truth is if you're the smartest, most ambitious person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle, right? Yes? Can I get an amen? You can't fly with eagles if you're surrounded by buzzards, is what I used to say. Right? Not just turkeys. It just can't happen. Unfortunately, it can't happen. So it's going to be beneficial to be in the right circle versus the wrong one. But how can you go and actually build the right circle too? I want you to sit down and think about this. This is the part that's important, right? The lesson portion of things. I'm going to try to wrap this up pretty fast because I know we ran late and we got 5 minutes left here. Might go over a couple minutes, but just hang tight with me, okay? If you can, if you don't have to run. Here's the 3 steps. Again, we want to give you value every time you come here every Monday. We want to give you gold nuggets and stuff that you can take and actually use, especially for this week, and then use it for the rest of your life. Right now, what do I want you to do? Audit your current 5. Think about who do you spend the most time with. Write down 5 names. And then next to those 5 names, I want you to write down, are they lifters? Are they neutrals? Are they drainers? Be honest. Why, Rob? Why should you be honest? Your future depends upon it. Okay? That's why. Number 2, seek out lifters. Find 2 to 3 steps ahead of where you want to be. Join communities if you need to. Attend events. Get in rooms where you're the least successful person. I'm in tons of groups like that. They're easy to find. I'm sure you're in some now, right? But are you taking part in them? Are you interacting? Are you communicating? Are you adding new friends, connecting with others? Are you providing any value in those groups or anywhere? And then number 3, manage your exposure. You have to cut people out, so to speak, right? And I want to be very clear when I say this. So I'll try to, again, hurry with saying this because of time. Just remove time that you're taking or having with them. Little by little, that's how it works. You know, just cut them out. No, my mentor, my friend, we went on Monday Mastermind. They said, I can't have you in my life anymore. Don't you go blaming me, okay? That's not what I'm telling you. But I will tell you, yes, I've even had family members that I've cut off and we haven't spoken to, right? I went 3 years without speaking to my brother. Finally, we mended. We could talk now, you know? But I have no problem. Just like I learned from my mentor, it's really easy to do a digital disconnect. Right? So audit the current 5, seek out the lifters, seek out lifters, at least 2 or 3 people that are above where you want to be, and then manage your exposure with any of those 5 that are like drainers, and then try to increase your time with the lifters. Make sense? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Now, here's a secret to help you out. If you don't know, let's become a lifter. You attract what you are, right? We talk about give to get a lot. It's the same concept. If you want to attract people that are like-minded or like that, then we have to now jump into that character, that role, and now become that lifter. Make sense? Celebrate others' wins. I'm telling you right now, if you're not doing this, you're not doing yourself any good for universal like abundance. You want to celebrate other wins as if those wins were your own. That's the way to feel within that spiritual energy, within that zone, that vibration, right? Case in point that I can think of right off the top of the bat, whenever I see new members in God Backup or one of my other groups, I'm like, hey, congratulations. Every chance I get, every chance I see you. I've had people that will want to reach out to me, of course, and help. You know, you never know what can come of it. Who knows? But share what you learn. This is where lies the storytelling that we talk about. And then speak possibility. Be the voice of you can in their life. Especially like people like Vicky, she's been through a whole lot. She knows this works. She knows you can make money online, right? She knows what it is to be accountable. She knows what it means to be there all the time, but then hold other people accountable with love. Don't be mean. You don't own them, right? Always with love. And then the principle give to others what you wish you had. This is something that I'm a firm believer in. And this is the general rule that I learned from one of my biggest mentors ever in the world. I call her mom. Right? She always told me, and I talk about this a lot whenever I get the chance. She didn't she didn't teach us color when we were growing up. She taught us love, and she always taught us make sure that you treat people how you want to be treated. That's a golden rule by my number one mentor, my mom, my mother, mi mama. Okay? So show me your circle and I'll show you your future. Your net worth is your network. Your network is your net worth. And I love that phrase. I've heard it so many times. It's even in a song that I love, right? But in money and in mindset, right? It's been statistically proven. Go ask any millionaire, they'll tell you and show you the same thing. So upgrade your circle. This week, here's your assignment. We talked a little bit about it. Circle audit. You're going to write down 5 people you spend the most time with. Add at least one lifter, and then you're going to be a lifter today. That's the message. Those are our slides. I'll open it up now. Any takeaways that you guys like to share from this week? Feel free.
I think the big takeaway is if you don't understand that, you just have to keep coming and keep doing. Because the what you get from people that are at a different level, it's like I'd like to be the fly on the wall in some discussions that are out there so I can level up, so to speak, and understand. So just stay close. If you don't get it, you will.
Amen. Amen to that. Anybody, what
Uh,
will you do differently this week? Anyone?
well,
No? Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
this was a great presentation.
Cool.
It's very important to because it helps us to evaluate who are we dealing with, who are we associating with, and what uh, what are we doing to provide value to the people that we associate with. So that's pretty good. And I should have mentioned this in my wins
Okay.
because on Saturday I attended a webinar.
Mhm.
It was a tremendous webinar. It was a lady that she used to be a fighter pilot, and she created. She decided that she was going to teach, and so she created a group, and the group is about uh, mind performance training, and the people that have gone into that group, they have some resumes that I'm very glad I'm the lowest one in that group.
There you go. I love it. Absolutely. Yeah, if you're the smartest person around, you're in the wrong circle, that's for sure, right? Well, that's good. That's good. Well, cool. Just a last little remembrance, and thank you for sharing that, Jorge. You can't outgrow your circle. Okay. People around you are either lifting you towards your dreams or anchoring you to your past. And I think that this was helpful too, because many times we don't just sit there and think about who the closest five people are around us, so that we can make the necessary changes so that we can make that outward growth. You know, I'm always honest with you guys, and even the wife, I told her the other day, I said, come on, I want you to grow with me, right? You need to grow, and hopefully you're growing, and I appreciate you growing together with us. Next week, we're going to talk about your morning owning your day. So I trust that you'll be here next Monday, 12 Eastern Standard Time, same bat channel. And don't forget How To Tuesday and How To Wednesday coming up the next couple of days. Have a fantastic week. Go kick some ass, take some names. Toot toot. Love you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Robert.